The scarcity lie. How brands trick you into buying. Okay, so let's look at this thing called scarcity. Now in psychology, the fear of loss is actually stronger than the desire to gain something. For example, if you told someone that they could keep eBay dollars for doing nothing at all, they wouldn't value it that much. But if you told them that they were gonna lose eBay dollars if they didn't do anything, then suddenly it becomes very important for them to take action and do whatever they need to do in order to keep that eBay bucks. What we have here is a classic example of loss aversion, and it turns out that this principle is actually very useful for brands because they can use it to trick you into buying their products. So what I want to do today is expose how brands trick you into buying things by creating this artificial sense of scarcity. Let's get started. The first method that brands use is called limited edition or limited stock. Okay, so you've seen this before. A brand will say something like get yours before they're gone, or only some left in stock or limited edition. Don't miss out, and basically the idea behind this is that if you think there aren't many of these items left, then you're more likely to buy it because you don't want to miss out. However, the truth is most of these brands are lying because they don't actually have limited stock. It's just a psychological trick they use to make you feel like you need to buy the product right now. This is also why some brands will send you an email saying something like, "Hey, your size is selling out fast," when really they're just sending that message to everyone. They're not actually telling you something that's specific to your browsing history or your purchase history. It's just a general message that they send to everybody. I mean, would you still buy the product if they weren't trying to pressure you with this scarcity? Most likely no, which means that this tactic is only going to work on people who already have a certain level of interest in the product. So what does this tell us? That if a brand needs to use tactics like limited edition or limited stock, it probably means that the product isn't selling well. If it was selling really well, there would be no need for them to apply any kind of pressure on you to get you to buy it because you would be buying it anyway. So whenever you see something like limited edition or only some left in stock, remember that it's probably just a lie that they use to trick you into buying. The next method is called delayed gratification. Now this one is a little bit more complicated, so let me explain. Basically, brands will try to convince you that buying the product right now won't be worth it because you can get something even better in the future. Here's a couple of examples. The first one is those credit cards that offer you some kind of discount if you sign up right away, but then they show you a bunch of ads for cars and vacations and other things that you can buy with the cashback you'll get from the card. So the brand is essentially saying, "Hey, don't spend your money here, go and spend it somewhere else." Another example is when a clothing brand tells you that their clothes are investment pieces, meaning that you should buy them because they're timeless and they're not going to go out of style. So you might end up spending a lot of money on a piece of clothing because you're told that it's timeless. But then a few months later, the brand releases a new version of that same product and you find yourself wanting to buy it again because the new version looks a bit different and a bit better. So what we have here is a brand that's actively trying to destroy the value of its own products over time, also that you buy it again and again. Now, another common form of delayed gratification is the sales tax holiday. Okay. This is where stores will say that you don't have to pay sales tax on a certain day or during a certain period of time, so you might think, wow, this is a great opportunity to go and buy that expensive TV that I've been eyeing for a while. But the thing is, they do this on purpose to get you to delay buying the product until the tax holiday, because otherwise, you might buy it right away, but because they put this extra step in your mind, you start thinking, maybe I can wait a little bit and get it for cheaper. But that might not actually happen, because sometimes brands will increase the price of the item right before the tax holiday so that it looks like you're getting a bigger discount. So it's important to remember that when a brand tries to convince you to delay buying a product, it might not actually be the best option. The third method is exclusive access. Okay? This is where you're told that you can get a product or a service if you join a certain group or if you do a certain thing. Here's a few examples. The first one is the free trials that you get on streaming services. So if you want to watch a movie or a TV show on Netflix, Amazon Prime, Hulu, Disney Plus, etc., they will offer you a free trial. But what they're really trying to do is get you to buy the product after that free trial ends. It's basically the same thing as giving you a free sample at the grocery store. They just want you to try it because once you start using the product, you're more likely to buy it. Another example is the VIP early access that you get when you sign up for a brand's email list. So they'll say something like, "Thank you for signing up. We'll get you in touch with a personal shopper," and then when you click on the link, it takes you to a page that says coming soon or not available yet. Again, what they're trying to do here is make you feel special because you signed up for the email list and now you get to access the product before anyone else. But in reality, they're just playing on your vanity. They're trying to make you feel good about yourself so that you're more likely to buy the product when it eventually does become available. So let's quickly recap the 3 methods that brands use to trick you into buying. The first one is limited edition or limited stock, which means that they say they have limited stock when really they don't. The second one is delayed gratification, which means that they try to convince you to delay buying the product because you can get something better in the future. And the third one is exclusive access, which means that they try to make you feel special by giving you early access to the product. Now, the reason why I made this video is because I want you to be aware of these methods because you're bombarded with them every single day. In fact, just think about the last 5 things that you bought. Can you remember any instances where a brand tried to convince you to buy by creating a sense of scarcity? If you can, let me know in the comments. Also, if you're wondering why brands do this, it's because they make way more money when they sell things based on emotion rather than logic. If you understand the power of scarcity, you become less susceptible to it, which means that you can save a lot of money and only buy things that are truly worth it. And by the way, you might be wondering why I haven't made a video about the influencer marketing thing. Well, that's actually my next video, so stay tuned for that. Thank you for watching and until next time.